guys, welcome to Driving to the Hoops Basketball Diaries. This is Clint. Today I'm just going to be talking about some of the forgotten stars of the 70s and 80s. I've done a list on this before, and I wanted to go over some guys that I had even forgotten that day that I was talking about them, or just couldn't fit them in. So just to jump kind of in deep with this, the first guy that comes to mind is someone played for the Utah Jazz back in the 80s and even early 90s, and was a really good player, known as a dunker. I think he played at Louisville University in college. His name was Griffith. He was a great dunker. No, it was Daryl Griffin, sorry. Dr. Duncanstein was his nickname. A guy that really had some hops, 6'4", was in a couple of dunk contests, some of the first maybe 2 or 3 dunk contests. He really could get up. He's actually on my intro, coming in with the 2-hand slam there of my videos. So really good player. He'd give you up around, somewhere between 16 and 20 a game. I think he even averaged up around 23 a game at one point. And then a couple of other guys just to throw out there that don't get a lot of attention, but were really, really good players. One guy that was kind of a scorer and a passer. He played with the Kings. He played with several teams, but I think he played with the Bulls before Jordan got there. His name was Reggietheus. He was kind of a combo guard. He averaged about 19 points a game for his career. Nifty little passer. Could get the ball around. Averaged up around 23, 24 on his best years. Just a great player. He would, go out and he had a lot of energy if he were playing. There's a good game actually where he's playing against the Lakers. I think when he was with the Kings, he has a great game against Magic. He was kind of a bigger guard, 6'6", 6'7". Not known for dunking too much, but he could dunk, and real fast player, just a nifty player. Another guy, kind of a power player down in the paint. He played forever, but he has some really good years when he was up and coming. Ironically, his name is Terry Cummings, and he was a guy that didn't have a lot to say, but no one messed with him. He was kind of one of those players that you just didn't mess with Terry Cummings. He was known as being very, very strong. He didn't play around. He wasn't joking around, that kind of guy. He'd give you, anywhere from 17 to 24 a game. There's a funny story. I don't know the exact incident, but Chris Webber was talking about, when he first come into the league and how he thought he was pretty strong, and he goes up against, I don't know who they were playing, but I think it was the Spurs maybe, and Terry Cummings was on that team, and he hit him with a elbow check, and he said it felt like he walked into the side of a car. Like, it was just that powerful. So he was just a really strong, no BS kind of guy. Another player who had a really short career. You don't hear anything about him anymore, but he was a guy that was on the verge of being a franchise player for the Indiana Pacers in the early to mid 80s, named Clark Kellogg. If you go back, not a fancy player, kind of, just a scorer, decent rebounder. He's kind of a small forward, power forward type of player. He played with the Pacers his career. I think he only played maybe 4 seasons, but again, giving you 18 to 20 points a game, it's not too bad. I think he would have probably, if he'd have played 10 or 12 years, they could have put something together when Reggie Miller and Chuck Person and those guys got there. Another player that was a really nice player, you don't hear much about, but he was and he may be in the Hall of Fame. He was a really nice player with the Denver Nuggets, and he played a long time. He was ABA pedigree. I think he played with the Kentucky Colonels in the ABA. Nice pump fake, kind of an undersized center, power forward type player, but he had an outside shot, not Larry Bird outside shot, but you know, good mid-range jumper. Could hit you with the pump fake and get around guys for about 2 dribbles. His name was danissel. Had a great coaching career. Again, he played forever. He, you know, he's one of those guys that his last couple of years he looked like some old gym teacher, you know, that was out there playing, but he could just, you know, give you 15-20 points a game every night, just knocking shots down. Kind of in the mold of Billy Paultz, someone like that, who just, you know, looks like a guy that come out of the YMCA, you know, pickup game or something like that. We just go out and just dominate guys. Just a really nice player too. And then another kind of a small forward, maybe he was a 2 guard, but 6'6", 6'8" kind of player. Had a jumper that would hit the rafters, it seemed like. His name was Purvis Short. He played about 10 or 12 seasons. Just a really explosive scorer. Almost led the league in scoring a couple of times. Unstoppable rainbow jumper. I think his nickname was Rainbow Man, actually, which is probably not the most flattering nickname these days, but back then it, you know, made sense, I guess. And I think he scored 58 or 59 points in a game one time, which is, you know, Larry Bird's career high was 60. So to give you an idea of what kind of scoring this guy could do, 58, 59 points a game. So really good talent, someone that you couldn't leave open. Not going to break your ankles or nothing like that, but he was just going to score a lot. Lastly, a point guard that he doesn't get much talk about as a guy that led the league in assists the same amount of times as Magic Johnson. Most people find that fact a little mind-blowing. Only a handful of players led the league in assists more than him. And he's a nice point guard, just a decent scorer, kind of like Stockton would give you 10 or 12 points a game, but was a great floor leader and a great passer, and that was Kevin Porter. He played mainly back in the 70s, but he hung around through the early 80s too. But led the league 4 times in assists. Something that doing that once is a hell of an accomplishment, and he did it 4 times. And you know, we're talking Stockton, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Bob Cousy, Chris Paul, maybe one other actually that led the league more than him. And again, the same amount of times as Magic Johnson did it. So anyway, a pretty cool fact about him. If you get a chance to look some of these guys up, I encourage you to do it. Some of them have some good highlight reels on YouTube that you can find. So anyway, I look forward to your comments. Kind of a short video, but I just want to go over some lesser known players, forgotten stars. If you get a chance to check it out, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.